Good morning. Today I'm going to share the 4 biggest things that 7 years of lifting has taught me about life. And I've put a bookmark in the bottom, so if you want to skip to that, go straight ahead. But otherwise, we've got an 8-mile run to smash out today. It is the 5th of September, which puts me exactly 27 days out from the London Marathon. I've had a bit of inflammation in my lower legs this week, so we're a bit behind schedule. But we're going to smash an easy 8-miler today, and then I'm going to impart my wisdom and knowledge on you after that. So let's get on with it. All right, nice gentle 8 miles, let's get it. First mile was a 9:32, which is bang on pace. Started very well. Nice and comfortable, no niggles, just cruising. 9:33 for mile 2, still feeling solid. Mile 3 was a 9:40, still exactly where we want to be really. Mile 4 was a 9:42, just had our first pit stop. Not feeling great now, to be honest. Mile 5 was a 10:40. Legs felt super heavy, stopped for a drink. Mile 6 was a 10:37. Really struggling. I'll do a debrief at the end, but this has not been fun. A 10:33 for mile 7. 10:32 at the end there, which gave an average of 10 minutes and 6 seconds per mile, and a total time of 1 hour 21 for 13k. That run, I wasn't going to mention it because I thought I'd just get through it, but I'm on day 3 leg DOMs because I did a squat challenge 3 days ago, and every step, if you've had quad DOMs before, they didn't disappear until, well, they're still here now, but I could feel them on every step, which was horrific. And so really that session was training for the last third of a marathon rather than the first third, just because of that residual leg pain. But I'll take it. Major win is no IT band issue, so knees feel great. Little bit of inflammation inside my left shin, but I'm going to ice that and see how we get on tomorrow. But all in all, good run. All right, that's enough boring running chat for now. Now I'm going to go through the 4 major things that 7 years of lifting has taught me. Number 1 is that discipline is going to beat motivation every single day of the week. So if you wake up and start asking yourself, oh, do I feel like doing this today? Do I feel like doing that? The odds are you're not going to get it done. You need to get yourself into a place where your mindset's unshakable and you don't negotiate with yourself on a daily basis. Whether that's coming home from work, you're like, oh, am I going to go to the gym today? I'm going to have a rest. You need to know, I'm coming home from work today. I'm going straight to the gym. No questions asked. It doesn't matter how I feel. You just get on with it. For the last few years, if I had to put a number on it, how often I actually wanted to go to the gym when I went to the gym, it would probably be about a third of the time, which means the majority of the time you actually don't feel like going, but you just got to get there, and you know that once you're there, you start working out, you get into it, and you feel so much better when you're done as well. And once you add that discipline in a certain area, so for me that is lifting, like I know that 3 days a week minimum I'm going to be getting in the gym. There's nothing that's going to stop me doing that. You can add that mindset to other areas of your life. So bringing that into running for me now, it's like I'm running 8 miles today. I don't get a choice. I'm not going to negotiate with myself. If I'm injury free, you go out and you get it. And that can apply to anything else. If you're still studying, it's I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to do 2 hours of solid deep work before I do anything else in the day. You know, don't negotiate with yourself on a daily basis, and that discipline is going to beat the times where you're unmotivated. They say consistency is the key to success, and obviously discipline is the key to consistency. So nailing that is going to set you up in whatever aspect of life. Point number 2 is start first and learn later. You're not going to be an expert at anything you start initially. So when I started lifting, I had no idea what I was doing. I went into the gym with a couple of mates. We were just sort of fiddling around with the equipment, trying to see what we could do. Look at me 4 years later, you go from the smallest, fucking hell. And then if you looked at me 4 years later, you go from the smallest guy in the gym to the biggest guy in the gym, and you'd never get there with the knowledge and tools that you had on day 1, but you have to go there, you have to start, then you can iterate and optimize as you go further down the line. Another good example of this is look at my videos now compared to my first video on the push and pull biomechanics. They're already like, what would you say, twice to 5 times better than when I started. And then if you go a year or 2 down the line, the quality of these videos is going to be even better after that. It's just about overcoming that initial hurdle of starting, and then you can build momentum on from that. Point number 3 is that staying still is going backwards. When I took up lifting, I used to moan, oh, why did I take up a hobby that if you don't do it for a week, you're just going to go backwards and backwards and lose all the progress that you've gained. Whereas in a more technical hobby like, I don't know, chess or snooker or something like that, you can take a lay off, take a week off, take a month off, come back in and then just continue to improve. But then it dawned on me a couple of years down the line that that's not actually true. In any aspect of life, if you're staying still and not consistently pushing and moving on and doing something new, you're going to be falling back and falling behind anyway. And it's arrogant to think that you can keep hold of anything in life by just staying in one place. So always be moving and always be improving. Point number 4 is about marginal gains, or the 1% rule. Not very often are you going to see improvements on a daily basis. Only when you zoom out to a macro scale are you going to see those micro improvements that you've made. Take these 2 pictures for example. There's 4 years between these pictures, over 1,500 days, or around 1,500 days. Every single day between those 2 pictures, I would wake up, look at myself from the day before, and look exactly the same as how I looked the day before. Then the next day, I'd look exactly the same as how I looked before. Because when you're that zoomed in on a daily basis, you're not going to see those changes. But it's crucial that you're putting the work in on those individual days so that when you zoom out on the macro scale, you can see those improvements over a long time. That comes back to the discipline over motivation aspect as well, because if you're consistently putting that work in, those 1% are going to compound and compound on top of each other, and you'll see that end result. That's my analysis anyway, 4 major things that stood out to me recently. Take of it what you will. Hopefully some of it or all of it resonated with you and where you're at in your journey at the moment. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we're closing in super fast now on some really exciting travel content. So subscribe if you haven't yet, if you're interested in seeing what's to come. Right, cheers guys, see you next time.